Everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's vlog, we're gonna be talking about guarding our hearts from naysayers. First, let's define who a naysayer is and why we need to guard our hearts from them. Secondly, so in definition, a naysayer is a person who criticizes, objects, or opposes to something. Also, a person who habitually expresses negative or pessimistic views, that's a naysayer. Basically, a person who just is overall negative. Their whole personality is negative. They talk to you negative. They have a negative outlook on life. Everything they stand for, everything they foresee is negative. Their whole mindset is one of a negative energy that sometimes they can so easily just transfer that type of energy onto you. And so let's get to the why. This is why we need to guard our hearts from naysayers, because you do not want these type of people transferring this energy into your space, into your habitat, into your heart. Why say into your heart most of all, rather than any places, even in your mind? I feel like it works both ways. It does. Whatever you feed your heart, that's what will also be in your mind. And whatever you feed to your mind, that's what's gonna also be in your heart. The Bible says, so a man thinketh, so is he. So if that's what you're feeding your mind, then trust and believe that it's gonna pour into your heart, and this is gonna become your whole character and personality. And if this is something that you're also feeding your heart, then vice versa, it's going to be transferred into your mind, and you're going to think the same way, you're going to act the same way, and you're also going to want to influence other people's life in the same breath. So it's so important that we guard our hearts from people who are negative, because one, let me tell you, it's draining to have to deal with these people on a constant basis. I feel like they're only MO in life, their only motivation then in life is to pretty much tear you down, belittle you, as the definition says, to criticize you, constantly judging you, judging your character, judging your goals, judging the decisions that we sometimes make. It might not look as how other people want it to look. There are people out there that don't they don't color inside the lines. They don't think inside the box. They're not your average personality. And you just have people who their whole existence, I feel like, is just to come and criticize and attack. We live in a society nowadays where it's so easy for us to speak negative from our mouths. Sometimes we don't even realize that we're doing it. We don't even realize who we're doing it to, because it's so welcomed. It's so it's like a popular thing nowadays that we shun people, we cut people off, or we push people away, or we project our negative energy or mouth onto people a lot of times with what's in our hearts. And I know necessarily we don't mean it. Like, some people I know for sure, like, it's not really what they intended to do in the first place. They didn't intend to come off negative. They didn't intend to push you away, or to be judgmental, or to criticize you, or to condemn you, your lifestyle and your decisions. That's not their intent. Like, I know for some people, it's really that they want to encourage you. It's really that they're trying to hold your hand and say, come, I don't think you're going down the right path, sister. I'm just trying to help you. I'm just trying to tell you you're gonna make a mistake, and I'm trying to help you not to make that mistake. But just the way how it comes off, the way how they push things down your throat, your throat, and the way how throat the way how they try to be controlling and sometimes really harsh with how they're trying to tell you you can't do this, or don't turn left, because if you turn left, it's gonna be danger ahead. If you turn right, I don't think that's a good decision, because there might be some disappointments along the way if you go right. But if you follow the straight and narrow like I did, then you should be perfectly fine. I really don't think their intention some of the time is to bash or to condemn or criticize in any way. Some of these people, they do have love in their heart for you, but it's really just how it's presented to you. It's really just, sometimes it's not what you say. I'm sure we all have heard this statement over and over again. It's not what you say, but it's how you say it. So it's the same thing with some people who are negative and pessimistic. It's not what they're telling you, it's really how they present it to you. Like, can I really absorb into my spirit? Can I allow what you're saying to me to come into my spirit, to come into my mind? Can I be encouraged from what you're telling me? Can I learn any lesson from your past, from your situation that you're trying to share with me? Are you trying to bless me, or are you trying to curse me out and then give me advice? Are you trying to whip me with advice? Like, a lot of people, that's really how they come off. Like, it's too strong, it's too aggressive, the tone, and just how they want to bring their advice to you. So for a lot of people, it's not easy. This pill is not easy for them to swallow, and I'm one of those people. Like, I am very sensitive, I am very kind of soft, kind of very emotional. I really am. I'm not gonna hide that, guys. I am an emotional being, and so with that, like, I kind of tend to wear my feelings on my sleeve. I don't do this intentionally. I don't know if it's the month that I was born, but I'm just a little flower, so I kind of like that respect, that when you come into my space, you respect who I am, you respect my personality, you respect my heart. Don't try to tear it up. Don't try to come at me and snag with your tiger claws because I'm sensitive and because I'm emotional. You feel like, oh, because you know better, because you've been through this and that before, that you're gonna come and just bark at me or yell at me and I should listen to you. Like, that's not the way that I would prefer to be spoken to. And two, sometimes your opinion is it's not welcome, it's unwelcomed. So I feel like that's my personality when it comes on to dealing with negative people. Like, I don't need your opinion, boo. I did not ask you for your opinion, but thank you anyway. You really have to try and just shut them down. These are people that if you can do better, if you can not have them in your ears, you will go so far in life. Because what will happen is, if you allow these people to be your driver, if you decide to stay in the passenger seat in your life and allow these people to be the driver, the dictator, the person who makes the decisions for you, I don't think you'll be happy. In fact, I guarantee you won't be happy. Because 9 times out of 10, they're doing things their way, and their way is not necessarily the best way. They just think they know all things, and they think that their way of doing things is much better than sometimes anybody else's way of doing things. These people do not allow room for error. They don't want to allow you any room to grow. They don't want to allow people to find out who they are inside. Or naysayers, they don't accept people that much. They don't accept your personality. They don't accept if you're different. Oh no, you need to be like this, you need to be rigid, you need to walk this fine line, and if you fall off course, woe be unto you. These are the type of people that unfortunately we have surrounding us, and if you're not careful, this can really throw you off track into becoming the person that you ought to become, and into just finding out who you are. What if you don't know who exactly you are in life? You have to be able to recognize just off the bat that, you know what, this is a negative person. I really realize that this person never ever has anything good to say about anyone or any situation or just anything for that matter. You have to be able to realize that this is a type of person that you do not, I repeat, you do not want to have being the dictator in your life. Yes, you can take advice from them. Yes, you can show them respect. Be kind to them. Be gentle. I feel like these people, you always have to remind them to love. You always have to remind them, like, honey, please be gentle with your words. Be kind with your words. I feel like you constantly have to be teaching them just how to love a little bit more, because they're so quick to judge, they're so quick to criticize, and in their eyes they're not doing anything wrong. To them, they're really just trying to help you. As if the problem is with you. Like, they see you as the issue and not themselves. That's another thing about naysayers. They never see themselves as being the target or the person at fault. They'll be quick to judge you, condemn you, point fingers at you. Oh no, it's your fault. Never them. And when you realize that a person is kind of like this, you have to be able to separate yourself from them. Even if they're, blood relatives, close friends, whomever that person may be, even a stranger or, an acquaintance. As long as that person is gonna be in your personal space, you're gonna have to deal with that person every single day of your existence. I feel like it's so important that you are able to, first of all, accept who they are. Don't judge. Love them too, because they need love. Negative people, they need love. I feel like because they feel so unloved, or maybe what they've been through in their past kind of created this monster in them, and they don't remember how to love, or they don't actually know how to be kind, how to be gentle, how to show respect to another person, how to not tear another person down but to uplift. So we have to remember to love them. We also have to remember to be kind to them, and just to continue maybe inspiring them to just to say, you know what, you don't always have to choose to be negative. You don't always have to choose to be unkind. And if it's that they're not willing to change their attitude or their way of life or their way of thinking, it just brings me back to my point that you in turn have to separate yourself from them. You have to guide your heart from these people. You have to put up it sounds harsh in a sense, it does, but it's not. You're doing this for your best interest. You're doing this for your peace of mind. Trust me, I know all too well. You're doing this for your own sanity. You have to be able to put up a barrier and say, you know what, you on this side and I'm gonna stay on this side, honey, because I don't need you influencing my life or speaking negatively about my life and my future any more than you have. You have to be able to draw a line and separate your heart from them. Yes, you can still love them, especially if they're people who are close to you, who are your family members that you cannot just do away with. You cannot just end all ties with them. You know what I'm saying? So it's really important that you in your heart decipher that, you know what, I'm just gonna get some space from you. I'm just gonna step away from this relationship a bit. I'm gonna focus on you less, focus on what you're saying less, and focus on what's in my heart a lot more, and also the word of God. Because whatever they're telling you that's negative, the word of God speaks the opposite of that, which is positive, which is bright, it's beautiful, it's whole, it's undefiled, it's just words of upliftment and words to encourage you. That's the word of God, and that's the the power and the wisdom and the knowledge of God. And we have to stay in that realm. We have to believe the word of God. We have to accept the word of God for our lives and not allow negative people to change that and twist the truth about God and the truth of what God has said about you. What they're saying is a lie. What the word of God is saying about you, honey, that's the truth. So how are you going to guard your heart from naysayers? When people come attacking you, let's say you made a mistake. Whatever that mistake may be, I'm sure we've gone through a lot in our lives that we can look back on and say, I kind of wish I didn't do that. But I've learned my lesson. What's that mistake that you've learned today? And can you remember people talking about you? Can you remember people pushing you down, pushing you aside, telling you, you're not welcome in our club anymore, you're not welcome in our society anymore, because guess what? You failed. You messed up. Like, what does that look like for you? And if so be the case, then how were you able to combat that? Or did you allow that to overcome you? Did you allow that to alter who you are today? Are you now wearing a mask, pretending to be happy with these people, or pretending to be someone else that you're not because you're so afraid of failing again? You're so afraid of disappointing these same people again. Like, who are you today? Are you living in your truth? Are you being everything that God has called you to be today? Or you are still putting on a show for people who still don't like you, who still don't want to see anything good come from you, who are still jealous of you, who are still condemning you and talking crap about you every day? Like, are you living your life just to finally hear from them, well done one day, I'm proud of you? Because chances are you might never hear that from their mouths. So you have to finally make a decision, guys, to stop allowing these negative people to have their say in your life. I mean, if you're an adult, obviously that's what you should be doing. But sometimes I'm talking to even younger children, teenagers here. Like, I'm not telling you to disrespect anyone. Do not take this the wrong way. I'm not telling you not to listen to your parents, or not to listen to your elders, or family members who might be that pessimistic spirit in your life. I'm not saying that. But you can also make a conscious decision in your heart, in your mind, and in your heart that, you know what, not today, or not for my future. You're not gonna dictate my future and tell me that I'm not good enough. I can never be that doctor. I can never be that teacher, or anything else for that matter that I've desired to be. That solely depends upon God. God is the master of your destiny. And you, once you fall in line, and if that's God will for your life, all things are possible through God. And that's the end of that. So just be encouraged. That's my message for today. Guard your heart from naysayers. We have to be intentional about protecting our spirit man, protecting our whole being, our mind, our bodies, our soul, our spirit from people who means no good, who will try to tear you down, and who sometimes are so unconscious of their words. Words have power. Words have so much meaning to them, and sometimes I'm telling you, these people, their intention is not to hurt you. Their intention is really not to do what they're doing to tear you down, but it does. It can, and it will if you allow it to. If you're not strong enough, and if you're not sure about who you are in this life, it can do some damage. And so you have to, from a young age, or just intentionally be aware of your surrounding, be aware of who these people are, and when they come into your space, and just say to yourself, you don't have to be disrespectful. You don't have to mirror them and be like them. Oh, teeth for teeth, eye for an eye. You don't have to fight fire with fire, darling. You can be you. You can fight hate with love. You can fight jealousy with love and the word of God. You can fight negativity with love and kindness. So that's what I'm encouraging you to do. And also to ensure that you're guarding your heart. Ensure that you're not allowing these people to dictate to you your life and your future and your present. Ensure that they're not filling you up with garbage. They're not tearing you down. Ensure that you're not becoming like them, because that's also a possibility, that because they've been so much in your ear and they have been doing this to you for so long, that now all of a sudden you're doing it to someone else. So we have to be aware, we have to stay open-minded and transparent, and we have to try and just reinforce a positive outlook on life, and also what we're feeding our minds. What are we feeding our soul and our spirit? Are we feeding the word of God? Are we feeding light? Are we feeding things that are positive? The word of God said, whatsoever things are good, whatsoever things that are kind, whatsoever things that are of good report, think on these things. Are we thinking on these things that are gonna help to uplift us, gonna help to uplift somebody else? You know, so we have to stay aware. We have to be focused on where we are today, where we're going for our future, and also not only to guard our hearts from naysayers, but also be careful how we are portraying what we have learned onto others. Are you helping the person next to you? Are you helping the people in your own life? Or are you tearing them down also? So self-awareness is just another thing that you have to be on guard about. You have to be intentional about. Sorry guys, my lighting is kind of bad. But yeah, we just have to be intentional about everything that we do, everything that we say, and pretty much what we allow also to come into our lives, into our minds and our hearts. Because pretty much whatever you're intaking, that's also what you're going to exude. It's what you're going to deflect. So take in positivity. Absorb all the positivity that you can in life, and also I would just say allow that to come from you, allow that to illuminate from you. Try to inspire, try to live your life as an example, a blessing to someone else. That's it for today, you guys. Thank you so much for